Hi there, my name's Vince from mymatevince.com, and in this video today I'm going to show you how you can easily pause live TV and then play it again. Now if you've got your Sky or Virgin Media, then there's a good chance you know that you can already do this if depending on the package you've got. But even if you've got just a very cheap old TV like this TV was about £80 or £90, it's quite a few years old, but yet it can still do the time shift function, and you can still record your channels and do series link and stuff like that. And the good thing about this is even when your TV is on standby, it can still record, or most TVs anyway, it can still record the channels that you want. So you can go through your guide for the week, and then you can look at what you like the look of, and then you can just record it, set it to record, and as long as you don't turn your TV off, as long as it's on standby, it will still record. Now, it's really easy to do. All you need is a little USB stick like this. This one here, let me take that one out. Right, this particular one is a tiny, it's only an 8 gigabit one. I think it was only $1 or $2.99 from eBay, but you're going to have to get one with a lot more memory. I didn't actually get this to do the time shift function on the TV, I got this for something else. But get yourself, about a 64 gigabit one. 8 gigabit one will only get you roughly about an hour of TV, depending on what you're watching. If you're watching a HD channel, then you might even get less than that. If it's something else, you might get about an hour and a half. So get yourself a bigger drive. They're not expensive. For £20, you'll be able to get probably a 128 gigabit one, which will easily do you for what most people would need it for. So it's really simple to do. All you've got to do is find your USB port in the back, labelled up USB, and just pop it in. Yeah. Now, the first time you do this, you will have to format it, but your TV talks you through that anyway. So when you go to press record or pause or play, then it will say to format your disc. So it's not a hard thing to do. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use one of these proper little hard drive ones on the good TV next door, just to show you how to format it. I've already done a video on one of these things. Basically, if you've got old laptops lying around the place, you can take the hard drive off them and get yourself one of these enclosures for $2.99. So if you're going to be throwing away the laptop anyway, take the hard drive out of it. I took one out that was over 10 years old, and it's still got 80 gigabits on it. So that's enough for up to 10 hours of TV. So that's more than I need. But basically, if you're wondering, has your TV got this or not, well then have a look at your remote control. So in this house, I've got 4 TVs. Now, on this TV here, you can see a record button. So the odds are, if you've got a record button, then it's going to be, time shift is going to be enabled on it once you plug a USB drive into your TV. On some very old TVs, sometimes they had like record and stuff because they also controlled maybe an old VCR, a video recorder. But it's a good thing that if it's got a record there, chances are, especially if your TV's within the last, I would say maybe 6 years, chances are you are going to be able to use this feature. On this remote control here, this is an LG one. Although you've got pause, play and stuff, again, that would be for a DVD player. This one doesn't have the time shift function. There's no record on this one. So this LG TV, there is no time shift function on. On this Hitachi TV, there's no record or anything on the remote control, and again, it doesn't have it. On this one again, this is the same as, although it's a different brand on it, it is exactly the same control as this. Again, it was a cheap TV, and the recording feature works on this one. And I also have a Samsung TV, which I'm going to show you now, where I'm going to plug in this and show you how to format it. And the user guide on that is much more friendly. So on this TV here, you can record. So if I go to record, then you can see it says record up there, and it will say there that I've got 55 minutes roughly. That will jump around the place, but I've got 55 minutes of recording on that tiny little 8 gigabit one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug in this one here. This is an 80 gigabit one. I'm going to plug this in to the main TV and show you how to format it. Word of warning, it's best to just get these little USB sticks here. Now, this one I'm hoping will work fine on my other TV because it's got like a dedicated 5-volt port out for it, and it's got HDD, so hard disk drive, written on it, so I'm hoping it will be able to cope with this fine. But on these small TVs here, if I was to plug this into it, what happens is it kind of throws the TV out and then it will turn itself off. So the small TV can't seem to give it enough power to run this, because remember this has got a moving part inside which is spinning round, while these little USB drives are more solid state, so there's no moving parts in them, so I presume they don't take as much power to work as something like this. So I would suggest if you've got like a small TV, then just get yourself a USB stick. Right, we're going to go next door now and show you this one working on the Samsung. One thing I forgot to mention is a lot of TVs, pretty much all TVs now do have a USB in, but just because it's got a USB in, it doesn't necessarily mean that you can actually record on it. All it means is that you can put the memory stick into it and then play the movies or whatever you've loaded up to it. But if I was to record something on a TV downstairs that does work on the memory stick or a hard drive, if I plug it in here, it's not going to be compatible. It seems to be that if you record something on that TV, you have to actually use that TV to play it back on as well. You can't put it into a different TV. Well, that's the case in my house anyway. So we're going to have to format this one in a computer first, because remember this came out of a laptop that already had a load of data on it, like Windows, etc, etc. So I'm going to plug this into my computer to format it, to wipe it, and then I'm going to bring it over to the TV and then it will format again. If you're just buying this one straight away, if you've gone out and bought yourself an external hard drive, you will be able to just plug it straight into your TV to format it. Right, so it says here you need to format a disk in Drive F before you can use it. Do you want to format it? So I'm just going to click on Format Disk. Right, and if you have a look here, it says 49.4 gigabytes. I'm not sure, this is supposed to be an 80 gigabyte hard drive, so I don't know whether the other 30 gigabytes has gone, but I'm going to go down and press Start anyway. Warning, formatting will erase all data on this disk. To format the disk, click OK. To quit, click Cancel. Right, and now it says Format Complete. Right, we're at the back of the Samsung TV now, and if you have a look here, it says USB HDD, so that stands for hard disk drive, 5 volt 1 amp, and then it says USB TV camera. So I'm going to be plugging it into this one here, because this is like the dedicated port for the hard disk drive. And we're going to be using this one here. If it struggles with power, then I would be able to then plug in this top bit here into that USB port there as well, just to give it a bit more power. But I'm just going to try it just with the one USB in at the moment, and what I'm going to do is I'm then going to put this away with all the other equipment, so it's not just hanging out the back of the TV, so I'm going to put it away safely. But just to show you it's working now, how to format it. Right, so I'm going to let's try and pause live TV. Right, the currently connected USB device might not support recording. Do you want to test this performance? I'm going to go to yes. And it says do not disconnect the device while it's running. And now up there it's testing the performance. So again, it's just saying that there's 49 gigabyte on it rather than 80. So I'm not sure why 30 has gone missing. So I'm just going to let that do its performance and see what it comes up with. There we go, that didn't actually take long. Right, it says now, do you want to start time shift? Click OK, blah blah blah. And so now if I was to, if I go to pause, let's bring this back a bit. If I go to pause down here, do you want to start time shift? OK. Right, okay, so as you see, that's now paused it. And if I want to unpause it, we have to press play. Play, there we go. Let's try pausing it again. There we go, so that's paused it. And press play. And now let's actually try stopping that. And let's try recording this. Right, do you want to include the content already saved in time shift in your recording? So let's just press no, so we'll record it from now. Okay, so now that's going to be recording as of now. And let's just see if we can change channel. Would you like to stop the recording and change channel? No. Right, so you can only change channel if you're on the same multiplex. So for example, let's stop this recording a minute. Do you want to stop recording? Yes. And let's go to, if we go to the HD channels on BBC One. Right, okay. So I think that the HD channels like BBC One, BBC Two, ITV, I think they're on the same multiplex in the UK. So if I go to record now, it's going to start recording there, and now I'm going to try and change channel to BBC Two HD, and see, it lets me. So right now I'm watching BBC Two HD, but it's actually recording BBC One HD, and then I'll go to ITV HD, so that's obviously on the same multiplex as well. Channel 4 HD is on the same multiplex. Channel 5. I think in the UK there's 6 multiplexes, but I could be wrong. So there's a lot of channels that are grouped together. But now, when I try to go to the next one, it says, would you like to stop the recording and change the channel? So I need to go to no, otherwise I'm going to lose my recording. So you will be able to watch a few channels while recording the channel that you actually want. Okay, so let's go down that way, and I'm going to press stop now. So we're going to go over to a different channel, which isn't on the multiplex. Right, so if you want to go to the guide, what you can actually do is, so you can see what's on later on that week, and then you can record it like you would do if you had, you know, like a Sky or a Virgin Media set-top box and you want to record something in the future. So if I was to go up to, for example, Country File, I think that's a series. So if I was to press OK on that, then it will say, do you want to schedule the recording? So I'm going to go up and go OK to that, and then basically it's going to ask me, do I want to record it just once, or do I want to record the whole series? So if you want to record the whole series, you would just do that, and as long as your TV's on standby, it will, as long as your TV's on standby, it will record that whole series. So if you have a look there, there's a little red dot next to Country File, and then let's go, how about this, Brazil Super Cat. So let's record that one. Schedule recording, and that's also a series there, but let's just do once for that. And that's it, so it's quite handy. And then when you want to play something back, so let's get rid of all this, exit that. If you want to play something back, then if you go to source, or it might be input on your TV, I'm going to go to source, and if you have a look up here, it says US mass storage. Now I've been plugging in quite a few things, so up here you've got like a memory stick, and then I've got 2 mass storage. I don't know which one it is that I actually need. Let's try the second one. Contents. And now if you have a look, this is the one, and I've got Wolf Blood and Tennis Davis World Cup. So that was the one that I recorded earlier. So if I was to press OK on that one, then it will start playing. And remember, I changed the channel between channel 2 and channel 3, and then you can see I've recorded 47 seconds of this, and obviously you can rewind it and fast forward it and do what you normally do as if it was a DVD player. So yeah, that's quite useful, I think. For the sake of spending a few pound, I think the best feature is just a time shift feature. So if the phone rings, or if somebody rings at the doorbell, you've got to answer the door, just pressing pause and then coming back to it. And I believe it will pause it for up to an hour and a half. I could be wrong on that. I think I read that it's an hour and a half that it will pause it for. But normally you only need it paused for however long you're answering the door or on the phone for. So yeah, have a look into it. You've probably already got memory sticks lying about the place. You might well already have old laptops lying about the place that you can get, that you can just get yourself a hard drive for, a little enclosure that I showed you earlier. Okay, if you'd like to give it a thumbs up, please subscribe for more how-to channels. Take care, bye now.